A good second semifinal for you. The Tar Heels of North Carolina, number 7, taking on number 2, Indiana. Let's take a look at the brackets. We'll show you what happened in the first semifinal. The Stanford Cardinal have done it again. They are in a 3rd consecutive NCAA championship match. That will be on Sunday. They lie in wait for either North Carolina or Indiana. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Glenn Davis. Alongside me, she's former U.S. Women's National Team defender Kate Margraf. All right, so we have 2 differing styles here tonight with North Carolina and Indiana. Take us through it.
Well, you have North Carolina, who is the 2nd most explosive offense in all the country, scoring the 2nd most goals, against Indiana, who's only given up 6 goals all season long and is the nation's best defensive side. It's going to be so fun to watch.
Let's take a look at the North Carolina Tar Heels and identify some of the key players here. John Nelson has been outstanding as a freshman. He's a defender. Up front is Alan Wynn. But, of course, all eyes are on the ACC Midfielder of the Year, Cam Lindley.
Well, Cam Lindley can do anything with the ball that he wants, able to deliver pinpoint service, whether it's on crosses, stepping on set pieces and converting them on his own, or creating deadly corner kicks that test any goalkeeper. He is how he goes, how the team goes. He's able to find players and bring everyone else into the game.
It'll be key to see if he can break the lines of Indiana, who have had an amazing postseason themselves. Griffin Dorsey has been a Big Ten All-Freshman member. This has been a team that defensively has just been out of their minds, with Frankie Moore in the holding midfield position, Mason Toye up front. But Trey Muse up front with Grant Lillard in front of him. Trey Muse in goal, 17 shutouts. What a story.
Oh, a freshman goalkeeper plays behind that veteran defense, but he plays without fear. He has commanding range, he organizes and communicates, and he stops shots like a pro would in crucial moments. He stopped 3 penalty kicks last weekend to get his team into this tournament, and he's a big reason why Indiana is here today.
17 shutouts for Muse. It's Indiana, North Carolina, a clash of differing styles. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll show you the starting lineups, the opening kickoff from Chester.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here. More memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass, plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like pre-shaken sodas. Switch to #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Welcome back to Chester, Pennsylvania, getting set for number 7 North Carolina and number 2 Indiana. This is the NCAA Men's College Cup presented by Northwestern Mutual. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for North Carolina under their coach, Carlos Samuano.
Well, the biggest difference is Lindley's going to be starting in on the left. Pineda's going to go on the right, and that's for defensive purposes. We'll get in the next lineup. Peters will come back and help, and Wright's going to help defensively. But up top, the speed of Peters and Wright and Wynn, they're playing some of their best soccer. They're going to be key tonight and help trying to get against Indiana, get some goals and get some opportunities.
Very technical North Carolina. Carlos Samuano, 3 College Cup appearances. When he got the job in 2011, they promptly won the national championship. He was an assistant under Elmar Bolowich. And Indiana 4-3-3 under Todd Yeagley, another one of the storied programs in the country.
Well, I was talking about Carolina making some shifts on where they put Lindley. It's because of number 15, Gutman, probably the most dangerous attacker coming from the left back, has an incredible engine. You'll see him in the back line, but then all of a sudden you'll see him on the front line, able to read when to release and go forward. But really, it comes down to Moore, Lillard, and Mel in the middle. How they go is how Indiana goes.
Took Indiana to a 2012 national champion. Todd Yeagley taking over the Indiana program where his father defined it. In red is Indiana, in light blue is North Carolina. Game on here in Chester. Your referee is Chris Penso. Teams that have had outstanding seasons. The Tar Heels 17-3-1. The Hoosiers 17-0-6. As Kate mentioned, undefeated 17 shutouts and have only conceded 6 goals, going up tonight against one of the most high-powered offenses from around the country in North Carolina. 9 ACC teams making the tournament. The Tar Heels, the last one standing. 6th College Cup for North Carolina in 10 seasons. No one tops that in NCAA college soccer. Here is Indiana pushing forward here early. That's Poncho. Keys to the success, planning for success by Northwestern Mutual. Here's North Carolina.
Well, they need to find Lindley on the ball. He's able to hit those penetrating passes in threatening channels and also to play quick. Indiana's incredibly organized defensively, and when they're out of shape, they're able to compact really quickly. So if you don't play 1 and 2 touch, you're going to be going against 2 blocks of 4.
James Pyle off the goal kick for North Carolina. Had some injury problems during the year. We'll get into that a little bit later in this match, but has returned in goal. Redshirt junior. 2016, he had 13 shutouts. North Carolina on the attack with Alan Wynn. Still Wynn. He's shut down on the flank. And Grant Lillard, who has been so impressive for North Carolina, anchoring things down at the back. Planning for success, Northwestern Mutual. How about Indiana, Kate?
Well, you don't want to change your style that got you here, and Indiana hangs their hat on how organized they are defensively. They need to stay in that and then get Gutman in on the attack. You'll see UNC, as every team this season has tried to do all along, is to hold him back by sitting somebody or trying to push him end line a little bit, make him defend more of the game. He's got to find the ball. Good pressing play there from Zach Wright. Earns a free kick. There's the delivery. Not bad. As that one whipped in there by Jeremy Kelly. That was a great ball.
Pineda was trying to get in there. Mauricio Pineda. So good look there at the player that you've really wanted to focus on, Andrew Gutman.
He just gets up and down the flank. And not only that, he's able to come inside with the ball and shoot, or he's able to overlap with speed. So good in tight pockets, but even better at making decisions with space with his head up. They're going to be patient. Indiana's totally okay with other teams having the ball for long periods of time. They're going to pick and choose their moments to go forward.
There's Jeremy Kelly, 2 goals, 3 assists on the year. It's a ball into the back post. So dangerous there. It was squared across the face of goal. Nobody could get there. Big start here, though, from North Carolina. Really putting the pressure on Indiana here early as they sit back in a little lower block here. Jeremy Kelly evident early here.
Look at this nice little bending ball away from the keeper. Muse decides not to punch it out. That far side defender, so far on 2 crosses from Carolina, has got to be so aware of where the opponent is, because Carolina has that ability to whip it in driven, and balls that are very difficult for goalkeepers to come out and try to clear the danger.
Look at how high Gutman has already pushed up the field here. He's essentially
outside mid.
Yeah, midfielder masquerading as a defender. Here is Gutman. Loves to get to the end line. Very educated left foot. There's been some talk about him potentially leaving the college game for Major League Soccer from Hinsdale, Illinois. Here he is now. This hit that one. So much has been made about the North Carolina attack. Some of the analytics there. Let's also not forget North Carolina is giving up less than a goal a game. So sometimes we get swayed by the analytics and forget that these teams have more balance on the defensive side as well.
What's interesting about Carolina is they play a 3-pack. They play a 3-4-3. The only team in the tournament that does that. You'll see them drop off with outside mids dropping off to make it look like a 4 or 5-back at times. But it adds a little bit of variety in trying to play against them tactically.
Mason Toy trying to press up here for Indiana. They're in possession now. Gutmann decides to go back. He'll knock it back to Frankie Moore, who is just such an important piece of Indiana in central midfield. Reminds us of that defined position that Indiana has always had, with very tough battlers and very important pieces in the number 6 role, and guys like Danny O'Rourke, Caleb Porter in the past. The most important position in the game these days now?
Just depends on how you play, isn't it? And how good your center backs are. But that person that can intercept threatening passes, break up plays with well-timed tackles, and then be able to distribute, change the point of field against over-compact sides. That's what he is. And my favorite story is doing research about them is when the team picks 4v4s, everyone wants him on their team. He is the number 1 player before Dorsey, behind Toy, behind Lillard. Everyone wants more on their team. He's just a pure winner, Coach Diggins says.
Talking about Frankie Moore, 3 goals, 2 assists on the year, the redshirt junior. That ice-cold penalty kick against Michigan State. Just remarkable, the history of these 4 programs here in Chester, Pennsylvania this weekend. In the 30s here. Griffin Dorsey trying to break forward here on that right side. Freshman from Evergreen, Colorado. 3 goals, 6 assists on the year for him. Indiana gaining some confidence here. This one is overhit. It'll be seen out for a goal kick to the North Carolina Tar Heels. 2nd straight College Cup appearance for them. Carlos Samuano was an assistant for 8 years at North Carolina before getting the head coaching job. He's calling this team one of the most enjoyable teams he has ever coached. Last year they were ousted on penalty kicks by Stanford. They would love another crack at the Cardinal. First, they got to get past the Indiana Hoosiers. Buckmaster knocked it inside. So now Indiana countering some of the possession by North Carolina with some of their own now. Thomas gets it wide. Mauricio Pineda knocked it inside. Nice little ball swept on there by Lindley. What great vision. You mentioned his range of passing, Kate.
But his head's on the swivel the entire time. Look at him just pinging it one side to the other, trying to stretch out that midfield 4 as well as the back 4. Create some gaps and seams for players to run onto or pass it into.
Driving run there from Zach Wright, who has been a member of the academy at Sporting Kansas City. 4 goals, 11 assists from Smithville, Texas. Ball driven into the box, glancing header away from Indiana. Wright keeps it moving. Pineda now. Only a sophomore. North Carolina had to get past Fordham in the Elite 8. 2-1 win there. Played in Cary, North Carolina. Fordham was one of the underdog stories of the NCAA tournament. They got past UNC Wilmington and SMU, and that 2-1 win against Fordham, where they traded goals inside of about 2 minutes. But ultimately, in the end, North Carolina would get a pair from Wright and win and advance here to the College Cup.
Which is incredible considering it's their 6th time in 10 years. We talked about the Cardinal being the winningest team in the past 4 years, trying to go for their 3rd national championship. But you know who's number 2 for for the best collective 4-year season put together with victories? UNC. Under Samuano.
Salas, Wright knocks it inside. Well, this is an evenly matched field here in 2017. Nice bending ball. It's Wynn. Wright getting to the end line, trying to drive this cross in towards the 6, cleared by Indiana. Compcia switches it. This is John Nelson, only a freshman, with a goal and an assist. How about that? A freshman stepping right into the starting lineup at North Carolina.
Well, at one point they had 3 freshmen in there, including the goalkeeper, in their defending core. An injury to Pyle means Samir got to start. Talk about the confidence you have in your team, but also about the preparation these younger players are coming in with. When they come into this level, they're able to step right in instead of being intimidated, a little bit out of sorts, trying to catch up to the speed of play. It's just incredibly faster.
Nelson and Salas have all kinds of real experience as freshmen in the starting lineup. John Nelson has played in the Under-17 World Cup, and Mark Salas with the FC Dallas Academy. North Carolina's Fetzer Field has been a place where there's been memorable moments, but they are upgrading this with seating and press box, so they'll be ready for play fall 2018. So this year the Tar Heels have had to play in 4 different locations, their home matches. They played a number in Cary, but they've kind of been a traveling road show when it comes to their home games.
It's just a great field, a great atmosphere. Won a national championship there, actually, which against Carolina, which wasn't the atmosphere in our favor, but just the round of support that teams come out, very similar to the Hoosiers come out to support their teams.
Not the best of clears here. It's Alan Wynn trying to make things happen. Big switch of play here. Zach Wright is going end line here. Zach Wright is going to square it back in front of the face of goal, and it's speared away by Trevor Schwartz. North Carolina trying to strike first here. Out of the middle to break it up is Alex Compcia from North Vancouver, British Columbia, and he's down. Started every game. Compcia was in the Vancouver Whitecaps residency program. Good chance for North Carolina prior to this.
Look at this, getting end line. Muse does enough. Not quite his hand, doesn't look like his knee was able to deflect it out. And Compcia gets back up.
So there's a good look at Compcia. Represented Canada at the under-20 level, so a number of players out here with youth international experience, and much like our first match between Stanford and Akron, lots of ties to Major League Soccer as well and academies.
Yeah, the ref trying to put to stop whatever's going on between Compcia and the Hoosier player that knocked into him earlier.
Penso is your referee. We've seen him in Major League Soccer. This is semifinal number 2, the 8th meeting between these two programs. Don't be confused by the clock. It counts down in the college game. Unlimited substitution. Taken out in the first half, you cannot re-enter. In the second half, you can re-enter once. Back to Trey Muse. Jeremy Kelly will go back. And it's Compcia who switches it. Corey Thomas knocked it back. Gutman. For large parts, Kate, North Carolina is elected to press at timely moments higher up the field here against Indiana.
Well, they're playing a 3-front, so they should be pressing a little bit higher because they always have numbers closer to the ball with usually one extra attacker than we see most teams play with. Majority of teams, especially in the Big Ten, play with a 4-4-2, so it's a little different wrinkle that Indiana is seeing.
Timmy Mel going back to retrieve this. It's a bad giveaway there, though. It's North Carolina now here in possession. Carlos Samuano calling this North Carolina version a little bit more free-spirited, and he said with a smile on his face, without maybe a little more discipline that I would like.
Well, part of that comes with a little bit of inexperience. You're starting 2 freshmen in the back, and it takes sometimes, even though they're physically, they can handle it, but just collectively as a team, bringing everyone up to the same speed, to have the same level of focus. That's a skill in itself, being able to concentrate for 90-plus minutes, or especially when things aren't going your way, or when they are going your way, making sure, especially in that 3-back, that you're defensively sound, because you're more exposed and more vulnerable than most teams.
There's Carlos Samuano. Played at Akron College, was an assistant coach there, then was an assistant at VCU, grew up in the Houston area. And all these coaches have wonderful, remarkable stories about where they started from, where they ended up, how they would ultimately get their first head coaching job. It's all very fascinating. And we spoke to all of them yesterday. They are so passionate and prideful about their programs. North Carolina now. Here's Alan Wynn. Wynn was named All-ACC first team. Ball getting off the feet of the Tar Heels pretty quickly here. Gutman trying to drive forward Indiana. Stepping up was the big man there, Grant Lillard, senior. He's up for the Mac Herman Award. He's a semifinalist. Big Ten Player of the Year. From a defensive standpoint, here comes North Carolina now. Jeremy Kelly. Gutman got a touch on it right in front of Zach Wright. Feet of Pineda. Switched by Salas. Carolina back in Dorsey there, and this is a comfortable place of defending, though, for Indiana. Zach Wright. His delivery cut out. Gutman is going to dip a shoulder and lash a volley over the halfway line. Pineda now. Indiana feels like they're a team that can score in a variety of ways, either off the run of plays, set pieces, that they feel they got a lot of variety in their attack. They can strike you central. They got a good wide game as well, counterattack. And again, despite the fact that they have 17 shutouts, they've been able to produce from an attacking standpoint as well. People look at Indiana, they say no weaknesses.
Well, Well, in the past, they lacked a goal scorer, right? They lacked the out-and-out natural goal scorer, so they had to rely on patient possession as well as letting other teams build up a little bit and look to hit on the counter. That's not the case this year. They have players that can actually start to put the game away on their own. Mason Toye, all Big Ten Freshman of the Year up top, as well as Gutman coming up. Dorsey slowly going into the under-19 international. So this is a team whose attacking side of the game is much more dangerous this year.
And a number of players in front of the ball right now. Gutman is on over here, but they don't see him. Here's Lillard now. Gutman. Nice early ball to Toye. Mason Toye trying to get turned. It's whipped into his feet beautifully there by Gutman. And Lillard is going to go home to Trey Muse, who was put under real pressure here. Battling play from Trevor Schwartz, and out of there came Frankie Moore. Again, Cam Lindley switching it. He is such a great decision maker. As much as they can get him on the ball, North Carolina will look to do that tonight. And he's only a sophomore. Poncho got it wide. Griffin Dorsey. Gutman is on. If they get it to his feet, it's hit behind him. And that in itself is going to push Indiana back a little bit. Give North Carolina an opportunity to get out here. Gutman.
It's a good ball out to Gutman. Nice and quick from Mel. This is where Indiana's at the best when Gutman's on it.
Forward here by Cam Lindley. Big early ball. Here's Allen Wynn now, who's pulling out. Allen Wynn has got some space here. He's eluded a defender. Wynn is into the box. He's a one-man show right now. He's trying to hold it up and look for support. Will turn. Indiana has recovered now. And they don't even get a shot off with the offside flag here. What a moment there from Allen Wynn. Could not find the right angle to pick somebody out. Maybe should have went himself.
Well, he's explosive. We got to see how quick his change of speed was, able to bypass the defender.
Let's go to Stanford Cardinal head coach Jeremy Gunn. Jeremy, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. The check will be in the mail. We're making you really work for it tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to make you work for it. So you go into the locker room after we do that interview, after game number one. You get a wonderful result here, very comprehensive in our opinion up here. What do you tell your team?
Well, it's business as usual, isn't it? You know, we've got a chance to play an exciting game on Sunday, and so it is one of those weird turnarounds that we do where you're halfway between regenning and regrouping and getting ready for a game, and so it's the same for both groups, and so we've generally had a real good attitude towards second games of the weekend as well, and so if we're going to have to deal with this crazy turnaround, we're happy to deal with it because we think we handled it quite well.
Well, Coach, you do have a short turnaround. Is your team here watching this second game here tonight?
No, they've gone off to bed, you know. Our coaching staff's watching, obviously, and we'll see what happens. But I think he's got overtime and penalties written all over it.
Yeah, any other
That's
impressions?
actually just wishful thinking.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, I think it's a little bit slower pace in our game right now, and they're just kind of feeling each other out. I think Chapel Hill will really like to look after the ball and keep it, and they'll just pass and probe. You know, I think if a goal gets a goal would probably get the game going a little bit more, but at the moment I think they're still just kind of testing the waters and seeing what's happening, and then hopefully as the game goes on, it'll open up a little bit more.
Jeremy, thank you very much. And again, congratulations to getting to that final.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Jeremy Gunn, head coach of Stanford, Sunday, 1 o'clock on ESPN2. It's Stanford against either North Carolina or Indiana. And he has had a wonderful coaching odyssey, and the way he went around the country to a variety of programs. Really did an amazing job at Fort Lewis in Colorado, and actually got a college town very much behind the game there. They won a national championship at Division II. Went to UNC Charlotte then as a head coach, and now at Stanford. Toy got some running to the right of him. NCAA Men's College Cup is presented by Northwestern Mutual. Northwestern Mutual, we help you live differently, and in part by Dr. Scholl's. Pushed out wide here, a bit of space now for Jeremy Kelly. He's going to go direct. And dropped over the head of a streaking Zach Wright, but off his line is Trey Muse.
And Trey Muse takes a more advanced position, looking to pick up all those loose balls in front of that back line. Very good communicator. He's seeing the plays develop early enough that he can do that. But right now it's been a bit of a transition game. One team having the ball for 2 or 3 passes, going to attack, and then go down the other way. What's interesting to watch, and I can't wait to see who takes advantage of it, is there's a huge gap between the midfield and the front line of Carolina that Indiana can set play in. We didn't see that much space in the middle of the park in the last game. It's totally clogged with bodies. So all the space was out wide. Right now there's more space to create in the middle than we saw previously.
Would you say out of all the teams here that North Carolina is a team that likes to use the width maybe more than others, that widens the game out?
Well, they're more set up to,
with
right?
the ball.
Well, they've got 4 players across the middle and 3 in the back. That means their width has to come from the midfield position, as well as up front. That's going to be the flanks. So just the way that they're set up, as well as they have players that relish that role, that can get wide and get inline. That's one thing the Zips didn't really have. They didn't have anyone that really enjoyed getting inline and being comfortable from playing in that wide space. Indiana has the same thing, but mostly on the left-hand side because of Gutman, who right now has been contained a little.
Akron had a good push at the beginning of the second half against Stanford. Had chances. Nico Cordy coming up with some very big saves at 1-0. But outside of that, really, this was a game that was very much managed and controlled by the Cardinal. This ball inside here. This is Zach Wright trying to dance his way through. It's broken up. Here's touch there from Toy. Jelani Peters came inside. They've got their left back joining in. Skahan now gets a good-looking cross in. It's just over everybody and goes out for a goal kick for Indiana. Saturday, we'll have an afternoon doubleheader of hoops. Number 1, Duke taking on Boston College at noon Eastern from Chestnut Hill. Then it's Indiana and Louisville. Both games on ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN app. So Mason Toy going off with some real conversation here with Todd Yeagley. Toy leading Indiana in shots with 74, has 10 goals, is a direct option. He was pretty interesting yesterday when we were interviewing some of the players. He mentioned that, it really took him some time to do the work without the ball defensively. Here's Indiana now. And that it was a bit of a challenge getting into,
defending from the front. And that's how Indiana defends. They start pressing from the front, making sure that forward player is dictating and making it predictable, the play in behind. It makes it easier for the rest of the team. But you see that a lot in the club game. Usually you have your superstars up top that score a lot of goals. Club coaches are like, hey, perfect, stay right there, keep doing what you're doing. And Jeremy Gunn even referenced that. He's like, a lot of time number 10s, they take a lot of plays off. And he's like, and I just don't allow that to happen. If you do that, you don't play for me. So when you get to this level, and if you want to compete in the College Cup and be a part of teams that are perennially here like these teams are. You got to play both sides of the ball.
Here's Alan Wynn now towards the end line. He's been a threat coming off that left side. Continually drifted out there to collect the ball and move away from the big center backs. There's Wynn, all ACC first team, career high in goals this year with 11. From Garland, Texas.
The freshmen from Indiana are coming out. You had Toy coming out, now Dorsey coming out, bringing in some more experienced players that have excellent service.
Indiana now pushing numbers forward here. Gutmann knifing inside. He gets stripped there. A nice tackle there from Jeremy Kelly. Here's Wynn now, who's come central this time. Pineda plays away from pressure nicely, and they get it out wide here now to Jeremy Kelly. Zach Wright crosses block. Good defending there by Indiana. So very measured by both teams so far here as we tick down towards the 14-minute mark. The most dangerous moment of this game was, one of the most dangerous moments was Alan Wynn when he got into the box and could not find the right angle to bring in a teammate. Jelani Peters. Spencer Glass, number 21, who's come on, has been a vital substitute for Todd Yeagley this year. Redshirt freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The home of DeMarcus Beasley. Collision here on the sideline. Ball gets played into the box. Gutmann. Tackled away by Kelly. Zach Wright, who had some success getting to the end line. Long touch there, trying to get the cross in. Squared it back, and with a right hand, Muse collects and kind of pulls it into his chest. But Zach Wright definitely an option to get to the end line. It's a great matchup there with him and Gutmann on the same side of the field, one that you targeted, Kate.
Wright doing a great job of knowing when to drop off. And take another look at this. You see Wright getting end line. Gutmann has gone back into almost the outside mid position, which isolates Lillard, who ends up getting pulled out from the center back. He's able to keep it in and force Muse to make a save, but look how he doesn't give up a rebound. 6'4", big frame, big man, able to get down and then corral the ball back into his body. Good positioning, making sure he doesn't get beat on that near post.
Is that an example of what you want, though? Getting the ball to the feet of Wright with Gutmann upfield, and then Wright having an opportunity to go at a big center back.
Well, I think anytime you see Gutmann upfield, then you need to go down that side because you might pull a center back out of position. The question is, can Peters now get forward and win and then challenge Mel and get in those spaces?
Scahan, he's a bit of a flyer as well down that left side of the field. Jelani Peters is called for the foul. What a revelation he's turned out to be. He's turned himself into a key piece and starter for this team.
Yeah, he was reserved last year. Redshirt sophomore off the bench, and this year he's just turned it around. 9 goals, 7 assists. Probably an attacking 3 front. I mean, if you're if you're a defender and you're going against Peters, Wynn, and Wright with that much speed, it's just incredibly difficult. That's why this is such a fun matchup against this excellent back line with probably the best center back pairing between Mel and Lillard.
This is Moore. Bunch of Fulcrum in midfield for Indiana. They'll spray it out wide here. Glass hit an early ball to the near post. It was a good idea. Forced a good decision from James Pyle, and Pyle comes off his line there to collect in front of Justin Rennicks. Rennicks also only a freshman from Hamilton, Massachusetts. Coverage of the NCAA championships continue with the Men's College Cup Championship Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. For more information on the NCAA Men's College Cup, NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. And again, Stanford lies in wait here for either North Carolina or Indiana. Indiana seeking a 9th national title. They have 8, second only to St. Louis, who hasn't won one since 1973. Program started by Jerry Yeagley, father of Todd, the coaching legend. And there they are. Hoosiers on the attack. Will get bent, easily handled there. That shot from Corey Thomas out of Croydon, Indiana. 3 shots here in the first half, 2 for North Carolina, 1 for Indiana. Free kick as Wynn goes down. Got that huge goal against Fordham in the Elite 8. Represented the U.S. at the under-18 level. Comcia, John Nelson, the freshman. We'll go back to Comcia. Wise decision to go back to your goalkeeper here and break the pressure of Indiana. Wright couldn't control it. Quick throw in from Gutman. Pyle. Peters now. Jelani Peters now trying to get his engine going here. Glass goes back to Moore. Moore, which is the attack to the right side of the field. They've got an overlapping run here. Here come the Hoosiers now. They get an early cross in towards the near post. Comcia positioned perfectly to head away. Indiana showing off their play in tight areas right now. Backing in North Carolina. Coming into the attack was Moore. A little bit late there. And that's going to be a free kick for North Carolina. Just eliminating the counterattack there is number 7 Trevor Schwartz, bringing down Alan Wynn.
Yeah, referee doing a little talking to. Very obvious what he's trying to do. Know that once Wynn gets that first step, he's going to blow right past you. Incredibly explosive. Professional foul, but one, do you imagine if it happens again from Schwartz that there's going to be a card?
Justin Rennicks trying to break out there. You see a lot of Rennicks in glass. They come off the bench for Todd Yeagley. Grant Lillard. Diagonal ball will turn a defender, but Skahan is back there defensively. Pineda trying to come out of there. Gutman. The play into the feet there of Pancho.
Yeah, Gutman's been forced more centrally as Carolina has a lot of players on the width. Gutman, I think, is better when he's out wide and able to create and then cut in higher up the field. A little bit easier to pick out his passes. And honestly, I'd rather have Gutman passing the ball into my forward than Gutman being the one running onto the forward line. So it's almost like if he's strong and he's gonna get the ball sometimes, but I think they're giving him the ball in good areas that make him less dangerous behind the lining up.
Now he's dropped all the way back into a left back position here to contend with Zach Wright as James Pyle. Goalkeeper capable of the big save. He's got a twin brother who's a goalkeeper at South Carolina. North Carolina this year with injury has had to use 3 goalkeepers. Pancho's brother, Austin Pancho's brother, is with Stanford, who obviously are in the final. Here comes the Hoosiers now with sub Justin Rennicks. Rennicks standing on it, drawn 2 and 3. Late Yeagley telling me yesterday he likes his team and their ability to play in these 2 versus 2 situations in these tight areas. Pancho will let fly, shot is blocked by Comcia.
Yeah, they're very well organized, but you know what I like also in their 2v2s and even in their 2v3s is their open field tackles. They're just able to lay them out time and time again in the Big Ten. And sometimes they get exposed on the width a little bit and just a great open field tackle that they lay out, preventing attacks.
Wow, another great ball from Lindley, who just drives it into the feet. Lindley has shown some real impressive range of passing here tonight. And that time,
Del Rosario able to get end line, 4 goals, 3 assists. Pretty nice to look to your bench and have someone like him come on. Adds a little bit more flair from the wide position, extremely fast, but combines well with the pivot player up top.
Del Rosario, also a freshman. It's a team in North Carolina that's at times started 9 and 10 sophomores and freshmen in their starting lineup.
So it's really fun to watch how they're performing in their first national championship game, especially the freshmen. How are they handling this? They don't have the experience like someone like a Stanford does. When they have more games at this big moment, you get to see a tackle from the freshman. I didn't see anything wrong with that. But just, how are they going to handle this moment? How are they going to handle their nerves?
How have they so far?
I think pretty well growing in the game, especially the back line. Salas and Nelson doing very well to handle this attack. Very skillful players in small spaces.
Good posture here for Indiana. They're going to lay it to the top of the box. Schwartz is going to get a hit. Diving save by Pyle to his right. Trevor Schwartz was brought in late here and provided a tester.
Pineda's dropping off. He's more the defensive center mid, so someone from a delayed position can wind up in a shot. That's not the first time we've seen him connect on a ball. This time incredibly accurate, forcing Pyle to make a save. Such a long distance and far away that no one from that front line was able to get up on the rebound as they were sitting on the 18. What an incredible weapon to have, especially if the midfield of Carolina is going to collapse onto their back line.
That hit had a little movement in it. Here comes North Carolina. How about that explosive pace here? So Skahan. Coming up at halftime, we've got a lot for you. Semifinal look back, Stanford and Akron. Stanford 2-0 winners over Akron. We'll have a preview of Saturday on ESPN Plus, first half highlights and analysis, all coming up at halftime. If you want to see the 2 Stanford goals, stay with us. If you're an Akron fan, you may want to turn the channel. Another great season, though, for the Zips. 2 out of the last 3 years, Akron have gotten to the College Cup. Pomcia is going to go all the way back to Pyle. Half is going to come to an end here in Chester. Very measured to some degree by both teams. Would you say, Kate?
Well, they definitely are feeling each other out, with each team having some dangerous moments at time, but not able to put together a huge sum of time in which they're dominant.
Let's go now to the coach of North Carolina, Carlos Samuano. Carlos, thank you very much for your time. Let's just get some impressions from you about the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, for us, the major thing that we're going to talk about is trying to go forward a little bit quicker. I think we're just hesitant to go after their goal, and I don't know why. But we're going to address that at halftime and see if we can attack a little bit quicker and a little bit more aggressive in the second half.
Who are you going to look to help link up your attack a little bit more? Right now, it seems like a lot of 1v1 efforts as you get in the final third.
Well, I hope everybody contributes.
Carlos, as you get into the second half now, how much commitment and how much more freedom are you going to give players to go forward here? Because we do know the style of play that you guys put out there.
Well, they have the freedom already. I don't know. Just going to have to convince them to take the chains off and go after it.
All right, let's let you get in there and do that. Carlos Samuano joining us here at halftime. Halftime, North Carolina, Indiana tied at 0. You're watching the 2017 Men's College Cup presented by Northwestern Mutual. We're about 16 miles from downtown Philadelphia here in Chester on the banks of the Delaware River. Indiana fans have traveled well. Indiana, North Carolina tied at 0. Let's go back and do a little bit of a flashback here. 2003, the final game in charge in Indiana for Jerry Yeagley, the father of Todd, the legendary coach. Jacob Peterson here scoring. Indiana taking on St. John's. They get that game winner right there. They go on to win it 2-1. In the snow in Columbus, 544 wins for that man, Jerry Yeagley, one of the real gentlemen of college soccer. And Gutmann could be a big part of it here in the second half. Indiana in the red, North Carolina in the Carolina blue. Huge 45 minutes to culminate this semifinal here, and a trip to take on Stanford in the final. 1 o'clock on Sunday on ESPN2. Hoosiers again undefeated at 17-0-6. North Carolina at 17-3-1. Matt Wright trying to turn away from that. Whipped in towards the near post. Moore will knock it back. Buckmaster. towards the corner flag. This will go out. Let's go down to Indiana coach Todd Yeagley. Todd, thank you very much for your time. How about telling us what might you have addressed in the locker room at halftime with your team?
Well, the first 20 were not very good, and I thought we played very passive and a bit safe. We didn't spin them around at all, and we played kind of in our back half, and certainly we wanted to be able to keep some possession, but a little bit more territory. So we said be more aggressive. I thought when we did get in the front half, the last 15 minutes, we were dangerous and caused problems. Just took us a long time to get to that point.
Todd, we'll let you get back to coaching. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Todd Yeagley, fresh off that wonderful flashback to 2003 and his father, Jerry, winning the national championship against St. John's and Dave Major. Only father and son duo to win the NCAA College Cup. You could tell he was not very happy with that first 20 minutes.
No, but that's when North Carolina was the most explosive, able to use the speed of the front runners, win and right and get at Indiana. But then you saw them grow into the game. I think there was a couple key substitutions. Toy came out, got his legs underneath him, now starting back in the second half. We got to see some players off the bench making impact right now, and I think that turned it around that second half of the first half.
Swartz now. Now, who other than Gutman, who you very much focused on, do you need to see from Indiana to really kind of get their attack generated and going here?
Well, you see Moore now is a little bit higher up. Coach calls him a pure winner. Also, Dorsey. Dorsey's a player that's very good on the ball, has been successful in the Big Ten, going at players, cutting across top feet, and on balancing teams with this technical skill. They have a couple players like that. Can they get more involved in the attack and get higher up?
That offering from Griffin Dorsey over the top, 3 goals, 6 assists on the year for him. He does cut inside. He has represented the U.S. at the under-19 level. Pile off the goal kick for North Carolina. Mason Toy was trying to get there, and it's a little frustrating coming off the bench in the first half for Indiana. Dorsey holds it up, crosses block there. Getting in front of that was Scahan, who, by the way, played with the Philadelphia Union Academy right here in the Philadelphia area. Dorsey again trying to drive the game forward here for Indiana. And they're going to earn a corner here. Maybe one way to get the game going here and get the game's first goal is off a corner.
And they have a variety of options off the corner. Very dangerous because they can throw multiple things at teams. It's a first corner for the game for them. And you see Cam Lindley in the center on the 6th, directing traffic for Carolina, telling everybody where to match up.
Swartz delivers. It's missed. It's 1-0 Indiana. It's stuck in by Gutman. First corner of the game, Indiana punishing North Carolina. And have gotten the game's vital first goal.
They decided to go back post with this. A bit of an in-swinger. Pyle comes up and jumps for it, unable to get on it. We get to see the delivery from Swartz, who strikes the ball so well. Look at the back post. No one's sitting on it. Gutman able to lose his defender. And look at the number of players. Look at that inside-outside movement. He reads where the ball is going faster than what Comcia could read it. Peels off Comcia, able to get on the far side of him and touch it into the net without any pressure on him.
So Gutman, we gave him the big drum roll for his ability to get forward. In the end, it's his ability to finish as he faded behind Comcia and then snuck in front of him to side foot at home. It is 1-0 now, Indiana. And that is not a good sign when you're a team that has 17 shutouts and does not concede a lot of goals.
And how about your left back with 7 goals on the season, 4 assists?
You're calling the left back. I'm calling the
He's like, I don't know what he is.
masquerading as a midfielder. Over the top it comes. Can North Carolina strike back here? They do have the firepower to do it. And all of a sudden, confidence flowing off the feet of Indiana here. Switch of play now, trying to widen it out here. There's Buckmaster on the right wearing 19, but they go back to Lillard. Buckmaster goes direct. Broken up by Comcia. Here is Alan Wynn now. Take a look at it again. The movement here, the key from Gutman.
Swartz, excellent ball. Testing Pyle. See if Pyle's going to bait and come out. He does. He doesn't get a clear touch on it, but look how narrow that window was for Gutman to hit that one time, keep it low, beat his defender, got to the space with a little inside-outside run, adjusted it based on the trajectory of the ball, and a great opening couple of minutes for Indiana. Now, how is Carolina going to get back in at this nation's second leading offensive team and goals scored? They're capable of much more.
Zach Wright helping to earn the corner here now. They'll have their first corner of the game. Indiana setting up sort of zonally here, a little bit of a mix. They work a give and go. It's kind of swerved in there and then headed away by Lillard. It's a long range hit. That one will fly over the top there off the foot of Mark Salas. Salas, the freshman from Dallas, Texas, FC Dallas Academy player. Very composed for a freshman, according to the coach Carlos Samuano. Still plenty of time for North Carolina to get back in this one, but again, it is against the team in Indiana that has only conceded 6 goals the entire season. Did not allow 2 goals in a game all year long. .242 goals against average, 17 shutouts. More from Gutman. Look for the return ball. Pyle will scoop this up and collect. The amount of running that man has done. Andrew Gutman, junior from Hinsdale, Illinois, scoring his 7th goal of the year. Zach Wright, he has provided some threatening moments out wide. He'll knock it inside this time. Here's Lindley now, who's getting a little bit higher up the field. Cam Lindley, shot right on. Muse will handle it. But Lindley showing us something he hadn't shown us in the first half. That is getting into the attack.
Right, we get to see him a little bit advanced position off his back line. He's been pinned back most of the start of the second half, able to come out with some speed. What was interesting talking to him yesterday is, like, I'm excited for this matchup because last year I could only kick the ball with my left foot. I had some sort of injury that I don't think we knew about at the time last year. So he has both feet at his disposal. He was excited to play more on this left-hand side as he was switched over. And Pineda went to the right-hand side in that center of the midfield to deal with Gutman a little bit. Pineda more the defensive-minded one, hoping to free up Lindley to help create. Can he get a little bit higher, though? Can he get involved a little bit more in the attack? My guess is he's sitting back a little bit, trying to catch Indiana off guard with a delayed run.
He did sit very deep in the first half and elected to do more of the distribution. Helped it on to Pineda. Those two, a wonderful pairing in central midfield for North Carolina. Here's Lindley again now, getting into a good area. Carolina gets it out wide now. to the end line, goes right, whips a good cross through the face of the goal. Nobody gets on the end of it. Attendance of 4,948 here tonight. Great piece of delivery there. Again, Zach Wright providing the danger. He's been the strongest card from an attacking standpoint here tonight for North Carolina.
Just seems like a lot of individual effort with no one really linking up.
Skahan, another that can really get his engines revving here and can provide some width and beat people in a wide area. It's been a tough night so far for Jelani Peters. Really has not gotten himself into this game. Schwartz goes back. Lillard. Gutman, and hits this one straight. NCAA Men's College Cup is presented by Northwestern Mutual. Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently. Pineda, calm and composed. Lillard to the freshman Muse, who was so dramatic in the Elite Eight when they tied 1-1 with Michigan State. They would go on to win 4-2 on penalty kicks. The fans would storm on the field after that. It was truly exciting at Indiana. That play was Corey Thomas, upset with himself after that ball. Over the top they go towards right. It's pulled Lillard out of the middle now. If he can get some support. And Lillard does a wonderful job of defending over there. That's why he's a semifinalist for the Mac Herman Award. But for a big man, has done very well coming out of the middle to provide that lateral cover and slow people down.
Now Lillard, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Get to see him very comfortable shifting laterally and then shutting down someone who is faster than he is with those long legs and well-timed tackles. Bought enough time for Gutman to come back and join him. But what was interesting is that there's so many numbers sitting back from Carolina that I wonder if they're trying to draw Indiana out a little bit and then look to counterattack. But that hasn't been working. I think they're actually better because they're so explosive when they're a little bit closer together, so it's not so individualized effort, so there's not only one person in the box or two options.
Well, in that last instance, too, they got a second defender over there very quickly to help him.
But you didn't see a second attacker, so it wasn't a 2v2 ever.
Carlos Samuano was trying to remind us in our interview with him that, you know, he's got to get people taking more risk and join in the attack. And I'm going to ask you simply, have they done that here in the second half?
I don't know if it's a game plan to let Indiana come out a little bit and then try to expose the space in behind because they are faster up top. But they're so well organized and excellent.
Whipped in cross here, headed straight up in the air. Indiana still battling here. They have a 1-0 lead in this one.
But they're so excellent at recovery. In terms of, look how fast they break, but watch the recovery run right now. Swartz trying to make up ground.
Well, we'll see if he's going to catch Wright. Gutman in the chase with Wright. Wright's got to go himself. He's going to square it into the box and then clear. But that's the first time really that Zach Wright, outside of getting to the end line a couple of times, really has broken free and really gotten a chance to run with the ball at his feet here tonight. This is far from over here. Ticking down towards the 30-minute mark here. John Nelson, the freshman. Back to Alex Comcia. Played in the Under-17 World Cup in Dubai in 2013 for Canada. Swartz, goal scorer Gutmann goes direct. Mason Toy has chased a lot of lost causes up front here tonight for Indiana. With him, it only takes one. He's got 10 goals on the year. Leads the team with 74 shots. By the way, almost 50% of those on target, which is pretty impressive. Lillard to Muse. North Carolina will get the throw here. Carolina got knocked out of the ACC tournament. Did that little break maybe something positive for them heading into this tournament? We'll get back to that in a second, because here they are on the attack now. Skahan dances in on his right, and the cross is overhit towards Zach Wright. Made space for himself. Saturday we'll have an afternoon doubleheader of hoops. Number 1, Duke taking on Boston College at noon Eastern from Chestnut Hill. Then it's Indiana and Louisville. Both games are on ESPN. You can also catch them streaming live on the app. Reese Buckmaster knocks it inside. Moore will drop it off. Buckmaster's a converted midfielder. Boy, hit on the turn there by Comcia. Peters. And that one hit behind Zach Wright as trying to switch the point of attack. It was Alan Wynn. Toy again coming off, and somewhat of a frustrating night for him as a striker. Comes Indiana. North Carolina now.
Now in the match is number 10, Justin Rivers.
Lindley, Pineda,
Number 8, Mason Toy.
Jelani Peters. Skahan now. A lot of red shirts behind the ball right now for Indiana. Towards the corner flag. Wright doing a good job just to win a throw in there. It's a nice little touch here. Here comes North Carolina now. And the cross again over everybody at the moment of truth there, with players getting into the 6-yard box, Kate.
You see Lindley getting involved over the past 5 minutes. Carolina has brought more numbers in the attack, trying to push forward a little bit. You see Wynn staying a bit more central and higher. I think the front line of the Tar Heels keeps coming back and checking back for the ball, looking to grab it and gain possession. But that means that there's no one pushing that back line, and there's no one then joining the attack. So it's kind of the chicken or the egg, and it keeps happening and happening. You're down a goal, you got to push more numbers forward. And that starts with Wynn staying high, Peters joining him, and looking for Wright on the outlet.
Muse off the goal kick here. Jelani Peters. it seems like every time North Carolina gets in some possession here, there's almost like 2 or 3 defenders around. Packs of defenders getting around the ball here from Indiana. Buckmaster now.
Well, I think it's been easy to defend the Tar Heels because they only have 2 or 3 players forward, so it's easy to have 5 players on them because Indiana's only sending 3 up high. All their numbers are out back.
What's the hesitancy from North Carolina to get people in front of the ball here? Or is it just a testament to how well Indiana's playing?
I think it's a testament to how well Indiana's playing. And Carolina's still trying to figure it out.
Alan Wynn came back deep to collect it. Rode through that challenge, rides through another. It's still Alan Wynn trying to get into the box. And in the end, tremendous defensive work there. A big play from Frankie Moore, the defensive midfielder of Indiana.
Moore just doing an incredible job shutting that down. But I love Wynn here. This original play, you think he's going to dump it out wide, but he doesn't. All the defenders think that as well. But look at Moore. Not the fastest guy. But he does take the right approach to put enough pressure on him. But Carolina ends with a corner kick.
I thought Wynn was gone. I thought he was getting a shot off.
I didn't think Moore was that fast, but I think it was a little bit of the angle at which he took to defend. It took out Wynn's angle, but Wynn does end a corner kick. Carolina unable to do something meaningful with it.
Dorsey couldn't control it. Here's North Carolina now. Maybe they're buoyed with some confidence there. It was quite the run from Wynn, who was kind of bouncing off Indiana players like a slalom skier with the ball at his feet. Here is Muse now, and of course Muse, his father was a goalkeeper at Kentucky. He has exceeded expectations and has played for Seattle Sounders too, and is trained in Seattle. His father made sure that he played up until 11, 12 years of age in the field. Here's a bending shot easily handled by Pyle. So as to develop, obviously, his ability on the ball with his feet. Yeah, now trying to apply a bit higher pressure here. Jelani Peters, 2 and 3 around him here. Get it out on the other side of the field here a little bit quicker. The option is on there. Compsia is going to get it out there. Here's Lindley. He links up. Here is Wright. This is promising. They've pulled the shape of Indiana a little bit here, but Indiana recovers again. Jelani Peters is going to have time to get here. Pineda. He does have power. Lindley. He works a give and go. Well, he's a wonderful player to watch with the ball at his feet. Zach Wright crosses blocked. It'll be another corner for North Carolina now. So good response here, ticking down towards 20 minutes left from the Tar Heels. Comes back to Salas. Skahan, shooting opportunity, shot is blocked. It's Renix who stepped out to provide the block there. Nelson. Alan Wynn, who's pulled out on the left, trying to turn the corner. Here's Wynn on the end line. Wynn can't square it back. It'll be another corner. He's trying to play it across the face of goal with the outside of his foot. Great work from Alan Wynn.
See Wynn trying to create something, able to earn a corner kick, trying to slot it back. Thomas War there. Substitute for Indiana, deflecting off of him.
Set up here zonally. It's punched by I'm not sure if Muse even got there. Maybe it was off the head of a North Carolina player. Is going to go out for a goal kick here.
Look at Wynn trying to get something to it. Goes up and over. Wynn is trying to influence this game. Originally sitting a little bit too deep, but in the last 10 minutes, he's pinched a little bit higher, and you get to see the damage he does. So quick on the dribble, explosive dribbling past defenders. The question is, can he get anyone else around him to help him out?
Indiana bringing in Hyacinth now. Poncho will go out. So a quick look there at Brian Mazanoff, the assistant of Todd Yeagley. Those two were together in Columbus in Major League Soccer. They have been tied at the hip here at Indiana. Mazanoff was a former Indiana player. And the IU staff was named the regional coaching staff of the year. Here's Wynn trying to get turned, gets his shot off, pushed away by Muse. Not lack of trying from Alan Wynn. He's been trying to get it done amongst a sea of defenders. Getting a push here from North Carolina now with 18 minutes left. Salas. Game's lone goal from Andrew Gutman. Side footing in a corner. Scahan. Overhit it towards Peters, and it's led to this now for Indiana with Dorsey. Dorsey cutting inside. We've seen him do that before. Lays a nice ball off. Looks for the return. Salas has tucked in nicely. As Rennick's trying to put him in. Peters knocks it inside. Here's Pineda now. There's no doubt there is a big buy-in here from a collective standing defensive point here from all the attacking players on Indiana. It's been pretty impressive.
Right, they're sacrificing the attack because they don't have to go forward. They're up 1-0, but they haven't really had a meaningful, dangerous attempt in the last 20 minutes as Carolina's trying to grow in this game.
Zach Wright is going to get to the end line. He's got a window to get across, and it's cut out, though, by Grant Lillard, who took up a good defensive position. Wright has penetrated a handful of times. Corey Thomas now. Buckmaster just knocks it over the halfway line, and right now Indiana's an immovable object. Alex Comcia. John Nelson now. Peters, Nelson. Indiana does such a good job of cutting off passing angles. It really forces you to play safe, doesn't it, Kate?
Forces you to play sideways or backwards. Only thing open is that huge switch, which any defense will have enough time to come over and read and to cut out. Almost playing a 4-1-4-1 right now. And the only way to unlock that is movement, horizontal and vertical.
There's a penetrating pass, and it has turned Indiana's defense. Muse will come out. Had at the feet of Jelani Peters. One of the rare times we've seen, though, Indiana chasing back towards their own goal.
What an excellent ball, though. Something that Wright can do something with it right away and get it across. Peters unable to get on the inside shoulder. Look at this wonderful ball from Lindley. No one else but Peters unable to get on the inside shoulder and be first to it. Because the center forward of the Tigers is coming back so much, Peters has got to almost be the highest player up there, especially every time Wright gets the ball, to make that near post run that you normally your central forward would make.
What a quick turn here. Win. Go to the back post. Peters was in there. That was dangerous for a moment there. Indiana looked a little bit uncomfortable. They are trying to see it out here with under 14 minutes left here in the second half, holding on to a 1-0 lead. Can that man make a difference? Zach Wright for North Carolina. He's had some success out wide here today. Change here for Indiana now. Coming back on is Austin Pancho. Going off is Rashad Hyacinth. Actually giving a break. And here's Mason Toy now, who's also come back on. Curls the ball in. Still sitting a block of 5 and 6 back, even though they got into the attack there. Little stop and go there from Grant Lillard. Corey Thomas now. Buckmaster. Trying to self-pass there with Justin Rennicks.
Pretty cheeky. The youth international hampered by a foot injury, so not able to come in and make the impact and influence that he intended. But you get to see what his brain thinks he can do when he's 100% healthy and fully played in, which he is at, but just get that last piece of all of it coming together with timing. Get to see what he's possibly capable of.
North Carolina is going to bring back on Lucas Del Rosario. Skahan will go out.
Yeah, Skahan got a little shaken up on the last tackle, a little bit slow to come up, went back and upheld his defensive responsibilities. Well done by Coach Simano to realize his player was hurt. Put in Del Rosario.
Del Rosario called for that foul. Is North Carolina running out of ideas here?
I think if they stay the way that they're doing, that they have. I would love to see a little bit more bravery in sending numbers forward. Lindley and Pineda are sitting so square to one another that they don't have any vertical height in that midfield. So they can't create those nice little passing channels, which are easier to play out of when you're playing against an organized side. When you're side by side, it's so easy to pick up as a defender and prevent you from penetrating. I'd love to see a little bit more bravery and a little bit more forward directness besides just the outlet to right out wide.
Mel helped it on. Pancho will go back. Moose at the top of his box now. Only takes one. Less than 10 minutes left here for the Tar Heels. Stanford Cardinal sitting in the final already, waiting to find out who they will play. For the moment, it's Indiana. Lillard stepping up again to break up another play. That back four has been rock solid in front of Trey Muse. What a foundation to build off of. Comcia cushions it down. For the most part, Indiana has put a stranglehold on North Carolina's vaunted attack here in this second semifinal. Coverage of the NCAA championships continues with the Men's College Cup Championship on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. For more information on the NCAA Men's College Cup, log on to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Jelani Peters now. North Carolina running out of time here. Allen Wynn has drawn two defenders. Wynn tries to go between both of them. It's broken up. It's won by Indiana. Not a lot of targets forward. They finally get one. Pineda has won it back now. Peters. They can't pick out Allen Wynn. Toy. And an opportunity to protect that a little bit better, but conceded the throw. Here's Pineda now. Peters. Every single touch now is magnified. Every decision magnified here. Less than 7 minutes left. Can't seem to penetrate Indiana. It's the difference right there. Andrew Gutman off a corner in the 50th minute for Indiana.
And after that, Indiana hasn't had to push forward that much or try to create much. Just trying to prevent Carolina from getting back into this.
Pineda. Del Rosario. Pineda has stayed high in the attack here. Indiana trying to break out now. Renix is going to draw an important foul here. And the yellow card's going to be issued to Pineda.
It's a smart foul. Get numbers behind you, able to bring him down, prevent them from going forward and exposing you on a counterattack. He's had a good game. Renix, he's very comfortable on the ball, running at players, unbalancing them with this technical skill, a little bit of speed to boot.
Someone stuck over the top here. Indiana trying to get on the end of it. They do. They square it back. It's parried away by Pyle. They snuck in behind the North Carolina defense. Here's Renitz again. It was Pancho who got in behind. Here is Pancho again now. He may just stand on it here.
He's just going to be smart about it, not just whip it across.
Puts it through the legs of a defender, draws a free kick.
Jeremy Kelly, the sophomore, gets megged by Pancho. brings him down. Not a great area to give a foul, essentially another corner kick. But this time, Indiana's not bringing tons of numbers forward. Lillard's not going up. Gutman's not going up. So they're not willing to sacrifice their defense in order to try to get another goal.
Indiana play a short one here, just going to hold it in and around the corner flag, basically playing 2-on-2 out there. They maintain possession. Solid game here tonight from Frankie Moore. It's been outstanding. Another free kick, this one drawn by Mason Toy.
And this just plays straight into Indiana's hand. This actually benefits them because it kills more time off the clock. They're able to get numbers around the ball to bring someone in to be that short passing option rather than the only option being a one-on-one or trying to whip it in the box 1v3.
They'll do the short one again here. And they're going to give a free kick here to North Carolina. They take a quick restart here. We've got to get down to the other end of the field here and try and do the business. Del Rosario. Towards Zach Wright. Put up into the crowd by Andrew Gutman. And they're going to draw a foul here.
A wonderful opportunity for Carolina.
Jeremy Kelly going down there. And would have sold that one a little bit to Chris Penso. It's going to be a free kick here for North Carolina. Box is loaded up now. It's a real favorable angle here to try and produce a tying goal. We're ticking down towards 3 minutes left here. Could it be a set piece for the Tar Heels? Benton. Bodies all over the place. Indiana finally gets it cleared. Their fans are up now. Here at Talon Energy Stadium, they're beginning to feel it. Pineda. Lindley. Zach Wright trying to make things happen. It's a run forward there from Lindley. They couldn't pick him out. He had made a good run. Toy fending off a challenge. Toy brings it down. Plays it out wide here to Griffin Dorsey. Here is Dorsey now. Into the box goes Griffin Dorsey. Crosses block. It'll be a corner for Indiana. No, it's a goal kick. North Carolina got to get it forward now. Under 2 minutes left here. Indiana looking to bring two players on now. Clock stopped with 1:46 left here. Pile off the goal kick. North Carolina needs to win this. Indiana working on an 18th shutout. Peters does a wonderful job of keeping possession there for North Carolina. An outstanding season for the Tar Heels. Direct ball here. It's going to get headed away. It's going to be a North Carolina throw-in now. Ticking down towards only a minute left here. Pineda. Trying to get it back on his right. Into the box. Oh, it's a good little move by Wright here. Speared wide by North Carolina. Zach Wright had gotten to the end line again. Trying to get on the end of it was Del Rosario.
Pineda able to set this play up. Zach Wright a little touch in, and you see Del Rosario sitting in between two players. Just a really difficult angle, almost hits on the outside of his right foot instead of the inside of his right foot.
Zach Wright had gotten the best of Gutman in that one-on-one situation. Wright has been impressive.
He has.
Less than a minute left here. Clock was just reset there. Indiana fans are up on their feet on the far side of the field. They are the most well-supported team here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Again launched into the box. Pineda trying to get turned. He goes down. Salas knocked over the halfway line by Indiana. And Corey Thomas. 15 seconds left. North Carolina has to get it in the box. 10 seconds left. Comes inside. Del Rosario trying to work to get a shot off, cleared by Indiana. Hoosiers are going to the national championship game.